June will see the gradual reopening of schools in England. It's going to be a phased return. The first children back will be reception Year 1 and Year 6 classes at primary school and Years 10 and 12 at secondary. Vulnerable children will also be encouraged to go back. But what can students expect? The government has issued guidance to schools in England. Schools will be expected to observe social distancing in the classroom. Students will need to keep 2 metres away from one another. How can you social distance a class? Class sizes will be smaller, no more than 15 pupils, and desks will be pushed further apart. To make this feasible, groups will be split up and taught in separate classrooms. Will school times change? So that not everyone arrives or leaves the school gates at the same time, school hours will be different. The same goes for break times and lunch times. They will be staggered to avoid lots of children in the playground or hallways at the same time. How can schools reduce infection? Classes will be cleaned more regularly, children will be encouraged to wash their hands more, and the use of shared items will be reduced. This means we could see a temporary end to teaching apparatuses like counting beads and building blocks. However, face coverings for pupils or teachers is not being recommended. Is it safe for children and teachers to go back to school? The government said children will be in a protective bubble with these measures, but many education and teachers' unions have expressed concerns about schools going back before summer.
This virus is going to be around for a while, and the vaccine isn't going to be around for a while. So this is a process of managing risk. Nothing is safe, and schools will not be as safe in one sense as they were. But what we do know is that the capacity of children to pass the virus on is actually relatively low, including passing it on to adults. And I was reassured when I was hearing from the independent scientific advisors that actually for those people going and working in schools, returning to school doesn't carry more risk than being a key worker in some other sector.
But what do some parents think?
You'd have to be 100% convinced, obviously, because that's your child. Yeah. But on the other hand, I do think that, you know, for children, that they need to get back to school.
We would only do it if we felt like it was safe, but I understand teachers' concerns, but I certainly wouldn't feel worried myself.
I think it'd be so good for everyone's mental health, and I think that's more important in a way at the moment.
Do children have to go back to school? No, children can continue with homeschooling, and parents will not be fined if they choose not to return their child to the classroom during this period. What are other countries doing? Denmark, France and Germany have begun a phased return to school already, but England's neighbours, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, do not plan on opening classrooms next month. Will there be COVID-19 tests for pupils? School staff can already be tested for coronavirus, but the government has said that from next month this will be extended to cover children and their families who develop symptoms. Will every school reopen? The government says its decision to reopen schools is based on the best scientific advice and is urging all schools to start a phased reopening from June 1st. However, Liverpool and Hartlepool have said they will ignore the government's advice and will not be reopening their primary schools next month.